My name is Bruce Gordon, and I'm originally from Honolulu, Hawaii, and most recently, 25 years in Colorado. The day that I had my heart attack, I was at Denver International Airport on November 4th, 2017. I was heading out on the trains, heading out to the gate, and just started sweating out of nowhere. And I come from a history of heart disease, and my dad had a heart attack at 54. I'm realizing, like, oh boy, this is it. Like, this is the thing I've been preparing for and waiting for. And I remembered that in the northwest corner of Denver International Airport, there's 2 ambulances that are always parked there. So my whole goal was to get to those ambulances. And I saw a police officer, and I thought, I'm not gonna make it to the ambulances. So I'm walking towards him, and I'm literally shedding my bags, my laptop, everything, because those things don't matter anymore. And now I'm dialing my wife. I shake the officer. He was kind of startled. And I said, I'm having a heart attack. You got 30 minutes to get me to the emergency room. He's just looking at me like, what the heck is going on? So I give him the phone. I said, you're gonna need to sit me down, and then here's my wife, tell her I love her. And just didn't think I'd probably ever see her again, to be honest with you. I don't remember much after that. I was in the ambulance. I kept asking, how much time to the hospital? Well, where are we going? What are we doing? Trying to control the situation that's totally out of control. Ended up in the emergency room. They defibrillated me 3 times. I remember it twice. It was awful. And then cath lab, and then this cascading effect of 21 days in the ICU. I had ECMO attached to my neck, and I knew I was in bad shape. And I kept talking to the nurse, and I just kept asking questions. And like I say, I came from a medical family, so I kind of just know enough to be dangerous. Later, she came up to the room, and I said, where did you go? Like you disappeared. She said, you knew too much. You knew it was bad. And I started crying, and I couldn't let you see me cry. And that's when I knew this is serious, They're trying to figure out, like, why did this happen? I'm a pretty fit guy, and I watch my diet, et cetera. So I go through the steps of, let's take him to a dietitian. And we just started, kind of going through, like, well, do you eat lots of vegetables? I'm like, check, I kind of doing everything that you're supposed to be doing, plus I'm working out like a maniac. And she's like, something doesn't add up here. She says, I'm gonna request you to go see an endocrinologist who's also a lipidologist. And like, now you're starting to get into this world that I'd never heard of before. So I end up going to him, Dr. Cornier, and he gave me a Lp(a) test, and it was 180. To be very honest, I had more questions than answers, by far. And then I think the next thing I did that I think most people do is they get on the internet, and there's just a ton of misinformation out there for it. And there's definitely a bit of hopelessness that you start to feel. And so I just started researching online of, like, who's the voice? Who owns this narrative? And the more I looked, the more I'd come back to the Family Heart Foundation. The role that the Family Heart Foundation has played in my journey is kind of multifaceted. I think, one, it's provided maybe guardrails to this journey, because it's so easy to just veer off here, veer off there. There's a conspiracy here. It's so much misinformation about it, and it's kept me kind of on the straight and narrow. And I think the other thing is meeting other people and other families that have this condition, and you realize you're not alone. Meeting the other families with people that have this condition is one of the most humbling things I've ever come across. It gives me hope, I guess. And also gives me some support where I don't feel like I'm the only person, and that there's families living with it day to day, and we keep chugging along. What gives me hope for the future is remembering my dad, who just passed away at 93. He said, you gotta believe in mankind, you gotta believe in human ingenuity, and that we'll get the next step. We will figure it out. And I think I believe they will find a cure for high Lp(a). And I think it's that spirit of mankind of just trying to keep moving forward and addressing the problems that you have in front of you.